Hi guys, it's Mrs. Zimnick. Welcome to APUSH. So you've probably heard a lot of things, some good, some probably not so good, and that's okay. I'm here to get rid of the rumors, get rid of the hype. Let's break it down. Let's tell you how to succeed in APUSH, okay? Well, number one, APUSH should not be your life, okay? Repeat that after me. That is a very important rule. I would say 90% of success in APUSH is, can you budget your time? Can you find the hacks and the shortcuts? So that is going to mean it's a little trial and error at first, okay? So for most of you guys, a lot of you are coming from honors world history, and APUSH is a college level course. So it's essentially harder than if there were an honors US history, all right? So that's a huge jump. For those of you coming from regular world history, I'm talking to you, it's going to be an exceptionally large jump. These first few weeks, all of you, regardless of where you came from, are going to feel overwhelmed. You're going to want to run for the hills. You're going to wonder why you did this to yourself, okay? That is normal. Deep breath. Whenever you feel like you're drowning, come talk to me. I am here. This happens to everyone. This happens every year. Been doing this now for 10 years, so I get it. I understand. APUSH is not your life is also a rule I have to remember because I get pretty invested in you guys and I want you to succeed as well. And sometimes I take that home. Sometimes I let that keep me up, and I worry, oh, am I doing this right? Am I doing enough to help them right? You have to make sure you're balancing. So when, not if, but when you feel like you are overwhelmed and not able to balance, let's touch base. I will help you find some hacks, okay? Well, number two, you need to read the textbook. I mean, for real this time, okay? I know that last year's world history book was the same for both honors and regular, and you're all pretty smart people, and you all probably skated by without reading too carefully. Some of you are like, or ever. So that's fine. I don't care. I'm not going to tell on you right now, but I am telling you right now that the students who do the best in this course, that consistently perform the highest, that consistently earn scores of a 4 or a 5 on the national test, are the kids who straight up honestly read the book. Okay. Now, this book is a college level course book. It's much harder than what you had with world history or honors world history. There's not as many pictures. There's the level of writing is a lot higher. So this is where you and I are going to need to figure out what works best for you. I always suggest for people that a really good way to approach this is to start with chapter 1. And when you're reading it, each subsection, stop and write the 2 or 3 most important things in that subsection. Put it in your notes, okay? I can check your notes, especially in the beginning of the year. I have a lot of people drop off notebooks to me and I'll go through them and I'll make suggestions. And because your tendency is the same as mine here, I wanted to write all the things. So, or if I'm highlighting, I want to highlight everything. You want to remember notes and highlights should be ideally no more than 10% of what you're reading. That is hard. That is a hard thing to get used to. I still struggle with that. So we're going to work on that. We're going to find these little hacks. That's a great thing. 2 to 3 bullet points per subset, okay? Rule number 3, stick with my plan. Again, I've been doing this for 10 years. Trust me, I know what works, okay? You're going to think I'm an evil monster who just is here to ruin your life at times. That's fine. I'm ready for that. Bring it on. I understand, okay? I will gladly take one for the team. I will fall on that grenade. But understand that everything I do this year has a purpose, it's meaningful, and it works. We get good results when we work together like this. So I will always have a unit syllabus for you. It will lay out the unit plan day by day. It will say, you need to read chapter 1 by this day, okay? You need to read by that day. Now, life gets in the way. You might be like, Mrs. Zimnick, rule number 1, I had a soccer game, I had band, I had all of those things at the same time. Okay. So if you can't read chapter 1 by the day I suggest, that's fine. Read what you can. If it's 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. That's all right. But you should do what you can. And then the next thing you need to remember is don't just move on and not read it. Okay, we build. When you come to class that day and I say you need to read chapter 1 by that day, I'm going to operate under the assumption that you have. So we're going to go full speed ahead and we're going to dive in, okay? Class time is where we analyze. I'm not going to put up notes on the board that are essentially the same thing as AP notes, which you can find online, by the way, and read them to you. That's not a good use of class time. That's not what history is. History is thinking analytically, thinking critically, applying what you know. So if you're expecting me to spoon feed, there will be no spoon feeding. Straight up, just being honest. Okay. I have notes. They're very basic notes because I want you guys to read and learn how to take the notes at home. So in class, we can go a lot more in depth. So you need to stay on my schedule, okay? Because if you don't stay on my schedule, we're going to keep going. You're going to be lost. Everybody else in class already knows what we're talking about. If they read ahead of time, they know. They took notes. They understand the most important things. So we can dive in. If you don't read, you're coming in totally blind here. You have no idea what's going to go on, and you're going to feel really lost. And you're just going to have a hard time keeping up with the pace. You can see our first unit is 101 pages of material. It's a lot, okay? That's an awful lot. So you really, as much as you can, stay on pace. If you drop the ball one day because life gets in the way, it's fine. Just pick it up the other day, okay? But try not to get in the habit too much of doing that too often. That's just a really important thing to keep from feeling that overwhelm that, again, all of you are going to feel, all right?